Yo, what's going on guys, it is Cynnnical, and today for you guys I've got a Kingdom Hearts 3 discussion video. In today's video we're going to be talking upon the 13 Seekers of Darkness for Kingdom Hearts 3. Honestly, I know a lot of you guys have been asking for this video for such a long time now, pretty much ever since I did the 7 Guardians of Light video, and if you guys haven't already checked that out, be sure to do so by clicking on the annotation above. But however, today I thought that I would do a video talking about the True Organization 13 in Kingdom Hearts 3. Now obviously we don't know all 13 members, we know about 7 of them, so I'm going to be going through those guys first, but then from there on in, I'm basically going to be talking upon a few characters who I believe have a possibility of becoming one of the True Organization 13 members to join the True Organization 13, or better known as the Seekers of Darkness. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and let's get on with it. The first and obvious Seeker of Darkness is, of course, the one, the only, Master Xehanort himself. I mean, this is a clear and obvious one, so I don't feel like I need to really go into explanation as to why he's a Seeker of Darkness. He is the true and definitive leader of the True Organization 13. The next Seeker is Young Master Xehanort. Of course, Young Master Xehanort was highly revolved around in Dream Drop Distance and was confirmed to be in the game as a Seeker of Darkness. Now obviously Young Master Xehanort is, well, a younger version of Xehanort, obviously Xehanort in his youth, and of course, yes, he was the one who obtained the whole time travel abilities through ANSEM, the Seeker of Darkness. Now it's thanks to this guy that basically XEMNAS as well as ANSEM Seekers of Darkness are alive to this day, and that brings me on to the next Seekers of Darkness, and the next one is XEMNAS. So obviously XEMNAS is Xehanort's nobody. He was the original leader of the original Organization 13 in Kingdom Hearts 2. Of course, Sora and the gang defeated him in Kingdom Hearts 2, but due to the fact that young Master Xehanort can bring any of his past selves back into the present, as long as they coexisted at a certain time, he can do so, and that's why XEMNAS is back. Now the same sort of thing goes for the next Seeker of Darkness, and that is ANSEM, the Seeker of Darkness, who basically gave the ability to young Master Xehanort, the ability to time travel. And yes, he is another Seeker of Darkness. He is known as Xehanort's Heartless, and so yeah, he is the next Seeker of Darkness. The next Seeker is XIGBAR, or Braig. So XIGBAR has been with Xehanort from pretty much the very beginning, well, ever since birth by sleep. He was almost sort of foreseen as Xehanort's henchman, and eventually throughout the series of Kingdom Hearts, he decided that he would give up his body to become one of the Xehanorts, and so Xehanort transfused part of his heart into XIGBAR, hence the reason now XIGBAR has Xehanort's golden eyes. So yes, he is another Seeker of Darkness. Next is Saïx. So Saïx is sort of the same as Braig or XIGBAR, so the same sort of thing happened with Saïx. He was a more recent member to the organization, obviously joining when the original organization first was created. But however, Saïx decided that he wanted to become a Xehanort as well, holding a piece of Master Xehanort's heart within his own. So obviously now he has the the obvious Xehanort's golden eyes. He is also foreseen as like a side sort of henchman, but however, he was obviously part of the original Organization 13 and decided that he'd take it a step further, wanted to become more involved with Xehanort's ambitions, and so he became another Seeker of Darkness. Alright, so those are the confirmed 6 that we know so far, but that's not even half of the True Organization 13, or Seekers of Darkness. So who are the 7? So from here on in, this video is basically just going to contain my thoughts on it and sort of my opinions towards who I believe the 7 rest could be. So be sure to leave your opinions about this in the comment section below, and let's get on with this. So first of all, I want to start off with Terranort. Now as you guys would have heard me sort of say at the start of this video, I said we know pretty much 7 out of the 13. Now the reason I said 7 but didn't include Terranort within the first 6 confirmed is that it's sort of edgy, but I do highly believe that XEHANORT is an already confirmed Seeker of Darkness. The reason being is in Dream Drop Distance, XEHANORT goes on to explain the 13 Seekers of Darkness and the 7 Guardians of Light. He explains that he already has 2 of the Guardians for his very own. This was of course during the time when Sora was in the process of becoming one of the Seekers of Darkness. Obviously that got interrupted by Riku, Mickey and Axel, or Lee, in Dream Drop Distance, so that got cancelled out. So obviously where Sora was meant to be, that place is now freed up. But the other person he was talking about was most definitely Terra, who is one of the 3 missing masters or missing friends. So that leads me to believe that yes, XEHANORT is most likely going to be a Seeker of Darkness. Of course, you know, back in Birth by Sleep, XEHANORT obviously ended up possessing Terra at the very end of the game. So the next Seeker I believe is Vanitas. Now this is highly theorized, and I think that it's most likely to happen, you know, Vanitas becoming a Seeker of Darkness. Now obviously in Birth by Sleep, Vanitas was pretty much XEHANORT's side boy, his bitch in a way, if you want to state it like that. But Vanitas, yes, he is a very dark-oriented character. Obviously, you know, he is the pure darkness extracted from Ventus's heart. So that leads me to believe that he is most likely going to be a Seeker of Darkness. Now the one thing you might be questioning as of right now is, but Cynnnical, he was destroyed at the end of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep during the same time that obviously Ventus fragmented his heart. And indeed, true, you are correct there, my friend. But however, I believe when Ventus does eventually wake up by Sora or whoever, you know, ends up waking him up, I believe that the darkness will end up being revived or rebirthed in some sort of way, and it'll come back to life, and obviously that'll be Vanitas, you know, obviously when Ventus wakes up. I really believe this is going to happen, and I feel for this mainly because of the fact that Vanitas will most likely take the spot that Sora was meant to be in. You know, obviously now XEHANORT has to fill that gap due to the fact that Sora was interrupted in becoming one of the Seekers. So I feel like, you know, XEHANORT will probably have some sort of backup plan in his mind, and that backup plan will probably be Vanitas himself. The next possible candidate could possibly be Riku Replica. Now, as weird as that sounds, a lot of people actually theorize about Riku Replica actually being a Seeker of Darkness. And even though it seems sort of crazy and strange, I think that it is kind of possible. Now, the only real possibility of this happening is through time travel, and obviously that is something in itself which is utterly confusing, especially in the Kingdom Hearts series. It's one thing that is probably the most difficult thing to understand. But obviously the Seekers of Darkness have time travel in their time. Now, they are capable of course, going back to specific moments in, you know, where XEHANORT was in the past, and going back to those specific moments. Now, obviously, during the time of Riku Replica, ANSEM the Seeker of Darkness was actually in Castle Oblivion. So this could mean that, you know, young Master XEHANORT could actually warp back to that time, and he could possibly, you know, confront Riku Replica, tell him about his destined fate, obviously, you know, being destroyed by Riku himself, and offer him a position in the Seekers of Darkness, obviously offering him more power, more strengths, and the capabilities to put Riku's head in the dirt. Now, I would actually like to see this, because I'd love to see the shock on Riku's face, you know, re-seeing the Riku Replica again, and a fight between 2 of them once again would be absolutely amazing, especially seeing Riku Replica becoming stronger, because his true ambitions was to become stronger than the real Riku. Now, I'd love to see something like that happen in Kingdom Hearts 3. I know this might be absolutely crazy, but Riku Replica in his own rights had a personality of his own, so it'd be really, really cool to actually see him as a Seeker of Darkness. So the next possible candidate, I believe, could possibly be Marluxia. Now, this isn't straight out of favoritism or anything. I'm not trying to be biased here, because obviously, if you guys know me, my #1 all-time favorite original Organization 13 member is indeed Marluxia. But however, I mean, I would love to see him return. Now, of course, in Chain of Memories, Marluxia was destroyed. Obviously, though, we know that if both the Nobody and the Heartless of that coexisting somebody is destroyed, then the heart, obviously returns to the original personality or the person of that Nobody or Heartless. So it is very possible that XEHANORT could actually, find Malusha's actual, somebody, offer him a position in the Seekers of Darkness, making him a vessel, etc, etc. Now, another thing that they could do to bring Malusha in is actually walk back to the time where Malusha was a part of the original Organization 13, the whole time travel thing. I know it's a cheap way of doing it, but it's very possible, and then bring him into the future, etc. Now, a reason behind this is, first of all, I know that Malusha had a huge scheme, as well as Luxine, had a huge scheme to take over and overthrow the Organization 13, and a lot of people might be saying, that's a huge reason as to why XEHANORT wouldn't want him. He doesn't want anyone who's willing to betray him. But perhaps that could actually be a big reason as to why XEHANORT would want him as a Seeker of Darkness. The reason being is, the whole time, he was planning this whole scheme for a very long period of time, and XEMNAS knew absolutely nothing about it. Which obviously means that Malusha had good potential right there to be a devious, sort of person, and that's evil in its own self. So perhaps from that, XEHANORT could actually see possible more and powerful potential out of Malusha. I mean, I know this placement might seem a bit biased. I really love Malusha, but I love him to be a Seeker of Darkness. The next possible candidate is Luxord. Now, to me personally, I believe that Luxord actually hasn't had a lot of screen time in comparison to a lot of the other Organization 13 members. Of course, the ones that didn't actually appear in Kingdom Hearts 2 had quite a lot of screen time, them being Malusha, Vexen, Luxine, etc. Those Organization 13 members, we saw a lot of in Chain of Memories, so in, obviously Theory, they got their own sort of game, so we saw a lot of them. In Kingdom Hearts 2, however, they had to show a lot of the different Organization 13 members, and out of the bunch, the one we saw the least was got to be Luxord. And also, to me personally, I feel like Luxord, in a way, was sort of like one of XEMNAS' bodyguards. The reason being is, when you finally make your way to the world that never was, you actually have to go through 3 different Organization 13 members in order to fight XEMNAS. And those are, of course, XIGBAR, Saïx, and Luxord. So it almost, to me, seems like Luxord probably had some sort of a bodyguard role for XEMNAS, and that he probably had some sort of close acquaintance relationship with XEHANORT, sort of similar to XIGBAR and Saïx. Obviously, we know that both XIGBAR and Saïx are vessels, so I sort of feel like Luxord, there is a possibility of Luxord, making it into the Seekers of Darkness. Now, I know that, of course, he was destroyed or whatever in Kingdom Hearts 2, but like I've mentioned for other possibilities, the whole time travel thing comes back to it. Obviously, young Master XEHANORT could time travel back to the time period of, XEMNAS, when he was the leader of the original Organization 13, bring through Luxord for like a special task or something, and that's probably how he'd end up being a Seeker of Darkness. Alright guys, and for the last 2, I'm just going to straight off speculate that they're new characters. Now, I feel like we're most definitely going to have new characters as the Seekers of Darkness, and I would say that there's not just going to be 1, but there's probably going to be 2 new characters for the Seekers of Darkness. I mean, who knows, there could be 3, 4, or 5 new characters. We really don't know, and of course, we don't know any of the placements or who is going to be, other than the 6, or I suppose you could consider 7 that we know of so far. So currently right now, everyone's just chucking in theories, speculating, going through the information we already know. But I definitely feel as if we're most likely going to be getting new characters for the Seekers of Darkness. Now that's why I'm leaving these 2 slots free to say they're probably going to be new characters. Now I do have ideas. Now the first one I would say is, I mean, like, really, how cool would it be? I know this probably isn't likely, but how cool would it be to have a Disney character as a Seeker of Darkness. Now I'm saying not one from a very well-known movie, but perhaps Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, who, you know, years and years and years ago, I believe was Mickey's cousin or like Mickey's brother. So I mean, how damn cool would that be? I think that'd be awesome. Now, the second person being a female member, specifically a female member. I don't have anyone in mind, but I just feel like the male to female ratio needs to be like upped a tad bit, because obviously Larxene was the only female member out of the Organization 13, and her personality stood out so brightly due to the fact that obviously she was the only girl, but she was just such a bitch. She was so sassy, and it was great. I loved it, even though I got pissed off with her 90% of the time. Her personality stuck out to me, so I really would love to see another female character in the you know, Seekers of Darkness. Who it would be, I really don't know. But anyway guys, hopefully you've enjoyed today's video. Finally, after so long, here is my 13 Seekers of Darkness video. There we go. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed today's video. Please hit the like button. It supports me and my channel. It means that you guys are enjoying the content that I'm providing you guys with. Otherwise guys, hopefully you have a good rest of your day, and until next time guys, I'll catch you later. Peace.